Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Everquest Old School. In this episode, I'm going to be taking you guys through Butcherblock, into the Cauldron, and over into Unrest. I was in a group last night, and there was a couple people in there that was telling me that Unrest is a good place to go from level 12 to around level 20, depending on what you're killing in there and the groups that are available. So I figured since I'm level 13 now, I'm going to go ahead and go over there and check it out. And since I haven't shown you guys exactly how to get there before, I figured I'd go ahead and do a little tutorial on running through Butcherblock and the path to take to get to the Cauldron, and then from the Cauldron over to Unrest. As you can see, it's nighttime now. Makes it a little bit more creepy, but you know, it's actually kind of enjoyable, you know, that it changes from daytime to nighttime and actually has an impact into the gameplay that there's certain zones that you just would never go to because they get so dark at night. There's people literally will just sit their character down and wait for the light to come back up. Now, I have said before that you can get torches and light stones that will help illuminate your character. It varies on the amount of light each one gives off. You're not going to get a whole lot. In fact, it's kind of like holding a torch in real life. You illuminate basically what's in front of you and nothing more. If anything, you illuminate yourself, more than anything. So that if the enemies were smart enough, they'd be able to see you, from a far distance. It doesn't work that way in this game. They can't see you as far as, with their eyes, but if you get within a radius, they come after you. So instead of taking a right like we normally do to go down to the castle Cauldron, or further down to the docks, we're going to keep going straight, and this will take you over to the Cauldron. Now, I am using a different recording engine, so if you guys notice any difference in video quality, if you guys like this one better than the other one, let me know. There is a few other video recorders that I can try out that I'm thinking I probably will before I settle down with the one that I like the best. So your feedback will greatly influence my decision on which one I pick. So. Now, another reason for picking this zone, and you can just follow the path, but I'm kind of cutting across. Another reason for picking this zone that we're going to is that in Everquest, certain zones, usually dependent on the server, were given bonuses. So in this one, Crush Bone is one that was given a bonus, and nobody could really tell me exactly what the bonus was, but they all knew it was plus 200 and something percent, 284 I heard. And several other different ones I've heard, but they're all above 200%. So in that zone, you're getting the normal experience times 200. So obviously that's going to be better than hunting in a zone that doesn't have any bonus multiplier. With that said, you don't need to level quickly in this game. You can take your time, and if there's an item or a name you want to try camping in another zone, don't let that, sway you from going over there just because you're not going to get the bonus experience. Okay, so now that we're in the Cauldron, they said the safest way to get to Unrest would be to follow the right wall. Now, this is the first time that I'm going to take you guys through actually following a wall and not the path. And you guys will be able to see that it's not exactly the easiest thing to do. You're going to be, basically blocking your view a whole lot, just staring at a wall as you try to find its line, its edge. This zone is pretty unappealing so far. Now at level 14, my cleric actually levels up and gets a whole bunch of new spells, and one of those spells is Bind Affinity. With that spell, he'd be able to bind himself anywhere he wants. And that would actually be better to get that before you decide to come over here. See, as you can see, it's not always as easy as just following the wall. Also, you can die in this game from falling. I've mentioned that before. Some games you don't have to worry about that. You can just fall off of whatever and jump, and you know, basically you're a Superman. You're not going to die. In this one, you will. So, the last thing you want to do is have to go get a corpse retrieval because you were stupid and or impatient and jumped off a mountain like that. Exactly like that, actually. So don't do that. This is what not to do. Be a little bit more patient. Be a little bit more careful than I was. Now, I zoomed out to get as much of a view as I can, so I can kind of limit the mobs that I might run into by accident. So if you look down here, you can see a little camp. And these guys are actually friendly, sort of. If you run to them, they will help you kill things. If anybody walks through it, you know, you'll see in a second they're going to go over there and kill that. And they're not the strongest. It's going to take them a few minutes or a few seconds for them to kill it. So if it's beating on you the entire time and you just barely get back, you know, that's not going to be enough. You got to survive for a little bit. But instead of following the edge, what we're going to go ahead and do is follow the ocean. The edge is a little uneven. You fall off a lot, get hurt a lot. And the roamers do walk up there, apparently. So this is not one of those zones where there's an easy path, a safe path for you to take every single time. You just got to be very careful. If you have Invis versus Undead, I would strongly advise putting that on. There's a lot of skeletons walking around over here. I'm level 15 at the moment, and they're able to see me. I mean, able to kill me pretty quickly. You know, so you want to be very cautious against that. There's going to be a camp coming up here in a second. There it is, right up there, I think. And you want to be aware of that. Make sure you bypass it. And shortly after that is when we'll come up to the entrance to Unrest. Don't go in the water. Don't get too close to the water. Don't get too close to the top. And here we go. Right there is the entrance to Unrest, right in the wall. Very easy to miss. If you're not paying attention, you can actually literally walk right over the top. Ah, crap. This guy saw me, maybe? No? See, he's yellow. He didn't see me, so I'm going to run around here. And again, sorry about the lag, guys, but they're doing another one of those attacks tonight, and so it's a little choppy. But I figured I'd go ahead and do the way to get there, since you can't really hunt right now with all this lag. And there you go, guys. There's the entrance to Unrest and how to get there from Butcherblock and Greater Fadar. So, if you guys like the episode, please hit the little thumbs button. If you guys don't, you're always welcome to leave some comments down below. And again, thank you guys for subscribing.